to it. An intense encounter between these two sides. Godlike down to 2, but S-Power making the difference for now.
Godlike on our edge is a tough position to be in. S2G on their sideline. A quick rollback. S-Power makes it look easy, but Joker from a distance, stopping these teams in their tracks. The proactivity from E-Arena has been insane so far. There's not a fight that they have not been unwilling to be a part of.
If they get line of sight, you best duck your head down because E-Arena are absolutely farming in this battleground right now. S2G, heavy hit coming over to Hustler Crew. You got the off angle set up, looking to take pot shots down and save his mates. Kamikaze trapped behind the vehicle. They want to close the gap onto it. S2G going in aggro, Vitality in the distance as well. Kamikaze with a single knock, Loco, drop back down, trapped behind the ridge.
AZM. You can hear his jammer pack just went out just then. Now needs to get a move on. S2G, they post up. AZM taking a huge amount of damage. The blue might just do the trick here. We'll take him out. S2G with 9 limit on the game.
It's crazy the sheer distance we're looking at as well. 9 elims being second place, 15 points for first right now, and the split on the actual minimap is insane with what we've been set up with. The only team that's looked comfortable realistically has been E-Arena from the position they've been in.
Oh, given a single inch right now. And they have cleared out the entirety of the northwest side. Now they can pretty much shunt most teams down towards that southern edge. Schwepp's opening up onto GS once again. And they are just swarming on them. Another goes down in Malik. And E-Arena looking for more and more points. 17 elims. Can they go further? Can they hit the 20 bomb?
Well, finally. Back, they will keep themselves alive with Tourniquet, it seems, over at the stadium. Mixed Vitality pushing on to S2G. A back and forth fight, a quiet game otherwise for Vitality. They were playing their cards close to their chest, but they've got to fight for control right now.
Looking for the royal flush over towards S2G. All 4 players down potentially. Axel.
Yeah, let's shit. वेलकम टू द स्ट्रीम मेरी जान कैसे हो आप लोग भाई आ गए वापस लाइव भाई वॉच पार्टी के साथ तो ब्रो बहुत मेहनत कर रहा हूँ भाई 2-3 बार चालू बन किया वहाँ की आँख भाई दिमाग का कचरा हो गया मैं जो मूड लेके आया था वो मूड का तो पूरी बैंड बच गई भाई तो अभी देखो ठीक है पूरा देखो भाई मेरे साथ रहो सब्सक्राइब करो लाइक करो प्रेम दो ठीक है फटाफट बट प्यार होना है भाई प्यार मेरा दिमाग पूरा घूम गया क्योंकि ये नहीं हो रहा था और मेरे को ये करना था बस अभी देखते ये होता है कि नहीं होता है अगर जो नहीं हुआ तो मैं गेम खेलूंगा ये वोट पार्टी में बंद कर दूंगा ठीक है तो यस भाई आ जाओ ठीक है ज्वाइन हो जाओ एंड स्ट्रीम को लाइक करो एंड सब्सक्राइब करो
Ida putting a frown on the faces of Yangon Galacticos. Last play incredibly low. Romeo is out.
Yes, भाई मैं मोबाइल से देख रहा हूँ मोबाइल से स्ट्रीम कर रहा हूँ ठीक है.
And one by one we whittle through our squads. The only fight we've seen taken to E-Arena left them in a position with 2 players knocked. They reset from it and continue to live on. You asked the question, can they push to 20 elims? They only need 2 more, Black. But can Vitality suck up some of the points as they do advance onto the weakened Ida? Emre with the detonation on the vehicle. Vitality, you're going to have to recover from this swiftly. What's the decision making?
That's a rough one. Rita playing inside building. Good burnout from him. Tries to get back inside, but good shots from Axel. Has been on an absolute tear this game so far. Good damage all around. Feels like a lot of the eliminations have been stolen away from him. That is an insane pre-spray from Razy. Gets a lot of damage done towards Emre, and he was not expecting it. Almost jumped into the headshot. The flicks are crazy from Federales.
They're playing on a different pace of the game right now, and it does work out for Vitality to bring the thunder back down to Ida. Man with the quickest fingers in France.
Could not believe what I just saw. And I don't think either could Ida, honestly. They witnessed that and it was terrible. Lufa will move up from Dobness, takes down the first player so far from E-Arena. They are down to 3. Vitality still sitting pretty with 4. And teams have to push out into them.
Two fights happening back to back. Stereo setups from our teams with Hora taking the hit straight to Vitality. Jiggle the only one keeping his eyes peeled over onto the E Arena encounter versus Dopeness. They eat the opening nade. Schwepp setting up for another one, but on the peak takes a few shots, low on HP. No fear with the steal versus Vitality. Can Dopeness actually defend themselves now?
Great Molotov forces him through the doorway, opening up the lines of sight. Now just one player left alive here. It is Speak Up. E Arena need to break their way out of here. 19 if they finish this fight, they're up to
Let's go. Why आ जाओ यार ठीक है.
An unbelievable game. Speaker has to make the crazy play, and there it is. A 22 elimination game. The first match of Group B. E Arena is bringing it.
ऐसा पूरा अपन रख देते हैं साइड में.
Not only are they looking for an opening game win, they're looking to do it by sending a
भाई लाइक मारो भाई जो भी लोग देख रहे हो यार.
And for Hora, they weakened Vitality amongst all this, but they were able to reset. Investing some of their utility, they're still alive with 4. Hora waiting on the steps on an off-angle setup whilst Razy scouts further back. No need to overcommit yet. Forced out of the vehicle, though, tucks in behind the tree. If you fall to sleepy, you can get very awkward quickly.
Razy put on the backside of the tree.
अरे गाय में ये
something. The cover flares.
आवाज चेक करो तो भूल गया मैं.
All that's left to keep them alive. E Arena pushes away over towards the northern edge. They're going to hold down here. Aura coming in with 4 players. It's going to be hard to clean out this game here. E Arena though.
हाँ अभी एक नंबर आ रहा होगा आवाज मेरा.
Ready to go, no fear. Time to put some more eliminations in the books. Vitality with a quick rescue. But can they make it back? They do. Goodness me.
अरे यार मैं लेट हो गया यार. मैं जब लाइव आया तब घोड़े एलिमिनेट हो गई थी यार. अरे यार मैं क्या करूँ बेंचो.
The raffle up to the top side. Schweppes playing a cheeky blank.
I mean, just looking for more eliminations here. They have already done an incredible amount of work so far.
यार मैं 3-4 बार ऐसा लाइव चालू करके बंद किया यार.
Getting the high ground is
लेकिन
insane.
लैग आ रहा है कभी वो एनकोडर नहीं चल रहा है भाई लाइव में. दिमाग का दही हो गया बे. अभी जाके स्मूथ चली है थोड़ी तो मेरे नसीब काम कर रहे हैं ब्रो.
Wild for it. Jiggle, I don't think he's had any idea.
He doesn't know. He doesn't know.
No way.
Now he knows, Blank. Joker with a headshot unloads from the top of the roof. It's good damage onto it.
They have full control over this one. The emergency camouflage drop down. Now give them incredible peaking advantage up against Vitality.
Like करो जेट जो भी लोग देख रहे हो ठीक है.
Goodness me, the blue's going to push them out to the open. This is more elimination.
Thank you so much भाई joining भाई. Thank you so much for joining. भाई 5 लोग लाइव देख रहे हैं वो भी ऐसे हॉरिजॉन्टल वाले भाई मेरे लिए बड़ी बात है. ठीक है. And subscribe मारो भाई लोग.
You've entered E Arena's arena at this point. The gladiators here in France as they are ruling from the top side, control of the ground floor as well with Mormon in position. And Vitality know that they are forced to advance eventually. You're exposed either way. The Joker's looking for the peak back towards the warehouses. How far can they take it with the elims? They look for more decent damage. There's another knock from Schweppes.
Instantly trying to flush out on that one. 24 in the bag. Blow up the vehicle. Don't let them go any further on the back of this one. Aura can do nothing but stand by and watch. M79 brought out to hopefully bring a train, but the rescue I don't think is coming for Razak next. Joker finds the peak off the back of it. Mormon holding the angle. But they're patient, they're real patient about it. But a nasty headshot from Federalis saves the day here. Joker has to not be greedy. That tree saves his life in that moment. The sightline just not quite there.
भाई यार मैं तो लास्ट जोन में पैनिक मारता हूँ भाई. बहुत पैनिक हो जाता हूँ मैं तो लास्ट जोन में. ब्रो बहुत हिम्मत चाहिए बे ई-स्पोर्ट्स में लास्ट जोन में खेलने के लिए. हाँ कसम भाई.
Stage 9 now.
मेरे को सब कट्टा-कट्टी वाला मैच होता है ना उसमें बहुत गांड पड़ती है मेरी. ये 1v1 है 4v4 है. ये सब में
Vitality playing it slow, but will have to move. Even more emergency cover flares dropped.
Building themselves barrier after barrier. Oh, shot down again. Joker gets the peek out. Federales cowering close towards the limited cover he's got, but no fear. Sees an opportunity and swings round. Federales with a hold. Some clean connections in the past couple minutes here.
The arena, they see this. They know the knocks are going through. They're looking to send nade. They
ये
feel like
नेड
they're
है
ready. It's on target.
और
A bit of chip damage. Razy has to back out. One more nade over the top. It looks on target. There, it's unreal from up on high.
नसीब दे भाई, नसीब दे, नहीं तो पहले नेड में ही मर जाना था, बट बच गए, पता नहीं क्यों।
Sky goes down. More eliminations available here. Might take them to 29, Jackie.
One away from the big 30.
1v2 है,
There's only a single member of
1v2
the
है,
squad left to try and fight against them.
रिवाइव दे रहा है उधर।
The dream of the arena on Rondo, as they've been living their movie. Elim after Elim. And Sleepy is all that remains between them and an unbelievable game one.
Schweppes looking down upon their arena, their stadium. What a ridiculous result here for E Arena. It has been sublime from start
Smart
to
है,
finish.
वो ऐसा आया एंड वो स्मोक गया, तो वो अंदर गया, अंदर चला गया मतलब।
Coming down to the bitter end, Sleepy looking up towards the sky, but will he be on point when they're forced to drop? It's all a matter of timing. Two crosshairs going to be swiftly on his angle. Can he withstand the duo drop? That's one with a shotty. All onto the last
अरे यार,
Schweppes tries to withstand the peak. Sleepy on the double up.
पोजीशन तो थी भाई उन लोगों के पास, तो ऊपर थे ना उस लोगों के पास।
Nibbling away at him blank. That's how they finish it.
Nice one, way.
Here at EWC, an incredible 39-pointer. They've got half the points that some teams earned yesterday at the end of it all in one match.
A game one chicken dinner with an unbelievable narrative. It wasn't even a single pop-off play. It was the entire team working in unison from start to finish. The mechanics.
पोजीशन थी बट जोन में तो जाना था ना, जोन में भी जाना था, तभी लाइक मारो बेट शिट।
And he should be. Everyone should be smiling. This is records broken. This is records made.
Records
first game of all things. They've done it. Like they're in, right? They're in at this point. Yeah, they're not dropping out.
अभी कब है नेक्स्ट मैच कब है?
I didn't expect it.
I mean, it's just disbelief on players' faces. I don't think anyone looks all that sad about it.
Edwin भाई,
That's all it is, Blank.
I mean,
You're shocked.
Aura's probably shocked, yeah. Goodness me. What a game. What a game. I've not seen anything like it.
ब्रो ऐसा बाल रखूं या फिर कटवा दूं हैं? ये बताओ चैट, बाल कैसे लग रहे हैं?
Showing up massively.
बाल रखूं या कटवा दूं? बताओ चैट में बे।
I have never seen a play like this work out, by the way. Never.
I can't believe it.
The fact that Schweppes is able to just crack the can open and make this work is wild. Let's hear him with the team. Bro, clear comms, clear comms.
They were just locked in. There was nothing that needed to be
like,
said.
where's the comms? Where's the comms? There's no comms. They are locked.
They knew what needed to be done.
Hello Arababits भाई कैसे आप? Welcome to the stream मेरी जान।
No need to waste brain power talking. Let's just get it done, and that's what they did.
Man, I mean, the rabbits.
करो बे जल्दी स्टार्ट करो बे दूसरा मैच।
And they'll stay there for a while. We'll be back
वेट नहीं हो रहा मेरे से भाई।
after this.
ये सब का सुसु करने गए। चल यार बीच बीच में क्या करे यार, ये तो दिक्कत है भाई। बातें बातें करते चलो भाई, लिखो कुछ मैसेज में अच्छा सा लिखो। चलो कुछ लिखो मैसेज में। अच्छा अच्छा भाई, वो ऐसा दोनों स्ट्रीम एक साथ कैसे कर सकते हैं ब्रो? ये मेरे को एक बार ही सीखना है यार। कनेक्ट एक मिनट सीखते अपन। कनेक्ट वर्टिकल स्ट्रिप फ्रॉम योर एनकोडर automatically generate a vertical.
Time for another club championship update, and this one is a banger. So let's dive straight into it. First of all, at the STC arena, they are out of groups now into quarterfinals. We follow.
Bro यार ये मेरे को करना है भाई। एक ऐसे वर्टिकल स्ट्रीम भी चाहिए एंड एक हॉरिजॉन्टल, दोनों एक साथ चलनी चाहिए भाई। ये कैसे होता है?
We have our top 8 players solidified. One of them is from AGAL. This will matter in a little bit. We're going to get back to it. Falcons is also going to be playing in that top 8. In honor of Kings, we are down to our top 2 teams, and they are the same 2 teams that battled it out last year. We're talking
आवाज तो एक नंबर है नहीं चैट
again and KFG.
बे ऐसा स्मूथ चल रही है बे, मेरे को ऐसा नहीं लग रहा था कि मैं ये करूंगा, बट ये हो रहा है तो ठीक है।
They are only 250 points behind Falcons on the CC leaderboard. If they are able to solidify a win, they can get those 250 points that they need.
मेरे को क्या था पता है, गेम ही खेलने वाला हूँ मैं ऐसा लग रहा था मुझे, बट नहीं बे अच्छी चल रही है स्ट्रीम तो स्मूथ चल रही है। ताकि तक जिसमें चार्जिंग इतनी चलेगी भाई, चार्जिंग में लगाऊंगा तो फिर लैग होने लगेगी। तो यही है ब्रो जीवन मेरा। बोलो कुछ बे चैट में से बोलो भाई, शांत मत बैठो ठीक है, कुछ तो बोलो।
PUBG Mobile, whole new group of squads getting into our competition, and we're going to see how they managed to do today as well. So check back in just a little bit later.
Thank you, Glitter, for that CC
बस कॉपीराइट
update.
ना आ जाए
Now, ladies and gentlemen, we are
एक
getting
मांड निकला भाई अभी।
records broken here at PMWC at
मांड मैंने
PMWC 26 as E-Arena
वेट किया भाई, दो महीने एटलीस्ट वेट किया था मैंने।
points max.
Absolute madness, record breaking Rondo, and just like E-Arena,
बस ना आए बस ये हो पे मेरी, अगर आ गया तो मेरी फटेगी भाई सच्ची। अभी 2 महीने के बाद हटा था कॉपीराइट एंड वापस मैंने स्टार्ट किया गेम। 3 महीने बोल सकते अपन, 90 दिन। वहाँ कसम भाई क्या दिन थे मेरे को लगता था भाई कि अब नहीं होगा, मैं नहीं करूँगा ठीक है, बट हो गया। कर रहा हूँ सो धीरे धीरे ठीक है, ऐसा हो जाएगा। मतलब एक रात में तो नहीं मिलेगा, गांड पड़ती है भाई मेहनत करने में भी एंड कंसिस्टेंसी रखने में भी। बट यस गाइस, आप लोगों की वजह से भाई यहाँ तक पहुंचे अपन, तो यही है भाई। लव यू यार तो लाइक करो चैट, जो भी लोग देख रहे हो ठीक है, स्ट्रीम को लाइक करो एंड सब्सक्राइब करो। यार सब्सक्राइबर काउंटर लगाना मैं भूल गया यार, ऊपर या इधर किधर नीचे में इधर लगा था, इधर किधर भूल गया यार।
That position is terrible if you don't have any cover, because it's a little bit of a slope downhill. If any team has a position where they can see the rooftop, it becomes truly unplayable. But see, all the cover flares here was great, but at the end, the leap of faith, literally Niptura, 2 players jumping on down, and he almost was taken away.
वैसे स्ट्रीम कैसी चल रही है भाई? ऐसा क्लियरिटी वीडियो एक नंबर है ना?
I was very. It's one of those things where you're kind of on tender hooks. You know, that final push down is like, oh, I don't know how this is gonna go. You've done so well. Is it all gonna fall? No. We don't have parachutes, mate. It's not gonna work. It's not the same.
एक नंबर है चलो। चैट यार लाइक करो बे, लाइक करना जरूरी है भाई। जो देखो 5 लाइक कंप्लीट करो प्लीज एंड सब्सक्राइब करो बे फटाफट। ये लाइव सब्सक्राइब करो।
Excited about what we're seeing from Tiamba so far. I mean, they were looking very, very clean, very put together. Some great synergy coming in as well there in the hot drop. Yeah, I mean, they were pushing together. I think who was it? It was Wolves.
इसको ऐसे छोटा कर दूं क्या मैं?
And you Newlin, and he they 3v1 push. They
Yes,
pushed
तो
together.
ये
They're
live
pushing
subscriber
around, they're
मेरे
trying to get
सामने है भाई
angles around
देखो
all of these different teams. Vitality was another one I was impressed with on the outside towards the end of that game. They were doing some really good stuff as well, just maneuvering around S2G, using their weakness to their advantage. Very excited with that. So yeah, a couple of other teams apart from the big dogs here that I'm looking forward to.
Yeah, one of them, I mean, you just mentioned it.
Chat.
Vitality, the way that they were able to play that towards the
कुछ
end
बोलो
as
बे
well.
ऐसे शांत
Max,
शांत मत
not
बैठो
only
ठीक है
the peaks, but also the way that Federalis was able to put up the smoke and go up to the fence and give themselves a little bit of an extra chance against the arena, but it was going to be too much.
I mean, Federalis only got 2 eliminations this game, but the way he got those eliminations was just truly stellar. I mean, I'm just going to try and replicate how he was doing it. He was going like... Okay, oh no, you can't see me anymore, okay. Well, you know what, maybe later on if you're lucky, but E-Arena here, 29 eliminations, 39-point game, record-breaking rondo from these guys, and we checked it earlier, right, Nipchura?
Yes.
How many points were secured by the fifth place cutoff team in Group A? It was
Yes,
88
let's go.
points. They're basically halfway there in 1 game of rondo.
I mean, that's how you want to do it, really. When you only have 2 days. I mean, we saw it from
Chat यार 200 कर दो ना सब्सक्राइबर यार एक कोई एक जना सब्सक्राइब मारो यार
You have this kind of game, and you are kind of set for the rest of the day. They have
कर
to
दो वे
just be
कोई एक कर दो
consistent. Not a lot of points, not a massive win. They're good to go now. They can relax and they can chill now.
Yeah, I mean, really having a good time in this game. You know what? Looking at all of these teams, it felt like there was not 16 teams, there was just 1 team. It was the E-Arena show from start to finish.
But when you get to stadium early, when you're able to defend, the way that they were able to actually defend against Wolves as well, Wolves didn't even want to push up. Wolves just kept using
199 subs पे भाई एक कर दो
cool, calm, collected,
Please,
doing their thing. One team that we actually got a chance to see do their thing, even though I wanted to see a win out of them, it was none other than Alpha 7. Alpha 7 ended up with 7 eliminations, and we're talking about expectations for this squad. This is not a bad match for them.
Yeah, it was good in terms of overall eliminations. A lot of those came from the hot drop, which is what you would usually expect right in Rondo. The hot drop gets a bit messy. Obscure actually putting up some good numbers this match. But I feel like the rotation into the zone itself was a little bit uneducated. Not a lot of scouting done, and because of that, they clash into, I believe it was ETSH at that point, and then a big fumble happens really at that moment, and it does not work out in their favor. So Alpha 7, the fragging is there, but the rotation could have been maybe a little bit better in that mid stage.
We just want to see that fragging for Alpha 7. They'll be able to tie down other stuff with them. Anything that surprised you out of this first game besides E-Arena?
Oh, you know what? I'm looking here. I'm liking what we saw from a couple of teams. I maybe just re-highlight Federalis, honestly, from Vitality. I think he did a great job. It was subtle, but he really worked for his team. So for me, yes, Federalis want to see him in the next game.
I'm going to go for Horror. Really, so happy to see them do well. But of course, it was the E-Arena show, as we know, in Stadium. But E-Arena were just dominating everyone. But Horror, good to see, just like in PMGO Season 1, right? Dominating their respective group. We're #1 in PMGO Season 1 in Jakarta so far. Also a decent start in this tournament. It's just not an E-Arena start, which no one's close.
One team that we haven't really gotten a chance to give props to, especially after that match, is Godlike. Godlike was able to put up a good amount of eliminations in that game. I think they ended up with 7. We saw them take the fight with TT Project as well. We got a chance to talk with S-Power. They're very confident. They're looking to make sure they end up going to the finals like OG was able to do yesterday. And before we actually send them over to Barty, Max, show us again what those speaks like. There you go, Barty Lays, take it over while we'll try to see if we can find a sibling to get out from here.
बैटरी सेवर ऑन कर दूं क्या बैटरी सेवर ऑन करता हूं
Barney and Lace are on the side of the stage with Alpha 7 Esports! Let's go! Okay, I'm joined by Camilla. I'm joined by Patala, of course, from Alpha 7. First, Camilla, I'd like to ask you, how many of you have come out here to support the team here at PMWC?
We're 30 here, but there are many more coming. We came all the way from Brazil just for this championship, but there are many of us still coming.
Wow, we've got more to come, Lace. Oh my goodness.
And Patala, obviously E-Arena just had a 39-point game. Do you think Alpha 7 can catch them?
Of course, we're gonna destroy them all.
We're gonna destroy them all, Alpha 7!
but ये
Yo, destroy them all. We're one game in. I can't believe it. Camilla, obviously this year hasn't been the strongest year for Alpha 7 so far, but obviously that can all change. If you could give a message to the boys competing here on the main stage right now, what would you like to say to them?
I'd like to tell the boys that we really believe them.
नहीं नहीं भाई, बैटरी सेवर ऑन मत करना कभी, ठीक है? फ़ोन से स्ट्रीम कर रहे हो तो बैटरी सेवर ऑन मत करो कभी, ठीक है? कभी मत करो।
Really believe them, and we are sure we are taking this trophy to Brazil.
I like that. They're taking it to Brazil. Alpha 7, do you think he can do it? I think they can do it. Costas, over to you.
Hands down, probably one of the best supporting staff and fans is Alpha 7. They are fantastic, always here, providing support to the boys on the stage. And again, they're always coming out smiling, no matter what. And you know that's because whenever they go backstage, they're always surrounded by love. So I think for Alpha 7, it is important, it's good. Again, it's just one game. It's just one game so far. And realistically, that was just the E-Arena show.
Yeah, that's the crazy bit about it, though, right? Is it makes it feel so different in your mind because we do have to reset and accept that was only one game.
Yeah.
It might have been, you know,
Yes.
3 games worth of points.
Really?
That's all it was. That was just Rondo playing.
Yeah.
Now it's a little bit more of a known territory. Maybe this is where things do return slightly to normality.
चैट लाइक करो यार, जो भी लोग देख रहे हो, ठीक है?
Energy carries on for
लाइक करना जरूरी है,
We'll
प्लीज।
have to see. I mean, for E-Arena, I wouldn't really care if they even went down to 16, personally. I think that'd be fine.
You can press for the day, boys.
You've done 3 games in one. But we are heading down towards the south side. This is a hilarious score line that you can see on the left-hand side of the screen there.
Oh yeah,
29
let's start.
elims. Next best is 8 because they stole all of them. But Aura, I think a lot of people...
And there was a lot of success in game 1.
Suffering from success now.
Yeah, you
actually.
think so, mate. If people didn't think about trying to target them, maybe that's going to make you go, you know what, a lot of fans out there.
What is this? What is this? All right.
जोन देखो भाई क्या बना है जोन।
2 games, we're good to go. Let's do it. They get themselves a really, really nice start here, as do Alpha 7 though, to be fair.
True.
Over towards the north side of Everest. Wolves could probably swing in behind there if they wanted to. Might go past Ruins, something like that. But wait and see. A lot of water in this one. We are cutting out a lot of space early on. Remember, there's this huge amount of fields down towards that south side, so rotating through there. Some of the sight lines might get sketchy for some of our squads.
Yeah, I might change things a little bit with how they play this one, like you say, cutting out a fair amount of that mass with the first shift on the circle. For some of the teams further back as well, down to, of course, the Sibnovska military base. We'll have a longer rotate on that one, so you'll be
लाइक करो चैट, जो भी लोग देख रहे हो प्लीज भाई लाइक करो स्ट्रीम को। Let's complete 5 like. Let's go.
As you can run in stylish, much like Hora are here, taking the fight straight to Godlike, and that's an
इंडियंस पहुंच गए भाई, ढोल बोल लेके भाई उधर। ढोल
Godlike down to a trio. That's a tough thing. That is a tough thing about this kind of playing path, is you're not always going to get your ideal drop spot. For Godlike, they certainly have to go for a split here. For Aura, they're an aggressive team. They're going to see you dropping from the shoots, know that you're a single over towards that position and punish you for it. I don't feel too bad about what happened to Godlike there in terms of the fact that it's difficult, right? If you're Godlike, that kind of playing path doesn't give you a huge amount of options, and Aura just tried to take advantage of it where they could, playing a little bit fast and loose there, honestly. See if Godlike can bounce back with just the 3, certainly possible.
It's early doors.
मैं ये सोच रहा हूँ कि ये अगर ये जो YouTube पे जो लाइव चल रहा है भाई, उसका ये भी लेग हो रहा है, ठीक है? तो ये मैं कैसे फिक्स करूँ ताकि ये जो YouTube वीडियो जो मेरी स्ट्रीम चल रही है ना, ये वो कैसे मैं फिक्स करूँ भाई? ऐसा क्वालिटी घटा दूँ या फिर क्या करूँ मैं? Bro, ये मेरे को समझ नहीं आ रहा भाई।
Each other as well, splitting off to either side of the coastlines. They can loot happily. No reason to stick into each other there.
Tiamba, again, these guys started really well on the last match on Rondo. They look good.
Yeah.
Happy to see them play the way they did. They are rotating to Mill to Power though, which is somewhat concerning. I don't know if they got the memo that the circle's on the northwest side. But loot is a necessity. And again, with that kind of playing path, you are sort of strapped for options. They'll pick this one up. Head on out later on. There's a lot of teams just not moving either. They know that moving into the circle is going to be tough as it is. I'm half expecting or after situating themselves in the Yasnaya, likely will make a northern rotate past shooting range, try and play off the back of that, potentially
over towards box compound.
Take a stop off there.
Bit of an earlier split off as well from S2G. Handled themselves pretty nicely in that opening game on Rondo, to be fair, Blank, with some of the situations they were thrown into. They had good mechanics, at least, with some of the fallbacks.
I also thought that where they set up afterwards on the pillars, that's good, that was good, right? Their initial
नहीं बे इधर बैठे तो मैं क्वालिटी नहीं कर सकता जो स्ट्रीम की, but ठीक है.
Kept pulling over towards stadium, and it was only a matter of time before they got swarmed by tons of teams. But I think the game plan overall and the gun skill that they displayed last game is really promising for S2G. Yeah. So for our Turkish fans, you can be pretty happy about that.
5 years even में दिक्कत है कब जाएगी bro?
We've got plenty more to watch as the day goes on. Dopeness on the south side. Just coming out from the swamp now, and TT Project similarly trying to rotate up on that west coast. The arena, though, they have laid the flag down. They're rallying around it at the moment. Just towards Hospital was South George Apartments.
Closer and closer.
लाइक करो जो भी लोग देख रहे हो, ठीक है ब्रो यार. लाइक क्यों नहीं कर रहे हो तुम लोग यार? प्लीज भाई लाइक कर दो. लेट्स कंप्लीट 5 लाइक 3 लाइक ऑलरेडी बाकी है, कर दो कंप्लीट.
This is the bridge crossing from Vitality as well. No one there to attempt to deflect it, so it's a free pathway out from Sivnovka to get back to the mainland. They'll be happy with that.
They're spawning it anyway, but again, I feel like this is nerves more than anything, because on this type of circle, you genuinely don't really need to worry about making this bridge crossing. I think it would be almost a bad play from someone to try and camp this, but it's always a possibility, right? So they're going to take it slow in the meantime. Axel's already made it halfway up the bridge and probably is going to try and get a little bit further up here. Federales holding behind, but they have nothing to worry about. They really
करूँ क्या 1080 इसमें?
Putting that down to nerves here from Team Vitality. But you need speed on this type of circle. You need to get into position. There's not a lot of spaces to take up yet.
Yeah, you can't afford to have the paralysis by analysis.
चलेगी क्या?
Too much time on that one. In the midst of all this, we did see that opening knock that came out from Schweppes, now converted into a full elim there. That was Wolves.
चल तो रही है मतलब. Yes.
Close to the territory of the arena, up by the compound. Rest of the team did get out though, Blank. Double back round Hospital side and got themselves into safety at least for now.
ढोल बज रहे भाई बैकग्राउंड में तो.
I mean, for E-Arena, they did pull off South George Apartments here. They try to regroup this, which is making a lot of sense to me, because typically on this kind of circle, you are going to get a lot of movement over towards the western side of Everest. This area here, real big funnel for a lot of teams. E-Arena knows they're going to be going against a lot of squads.
सुन रहे हो आप लोग ढोल?
They're coming off such a big high here, but they do need to dial things back. Understand that they can't take too many fights. Third parties are going to be galore around this area too. Your GS team over towards that eastern side now. Alpha 7 back to basics in North George.
सच बताओ तो भाई मैं यहाँ पे इंडिया को देख रहे हैं, ठीक है मेरे को कोई नॉलेज नहीं है ब्रो सभी टीमों का, बट मेरे को इंडिया की टीम का थोड़ा थोड़ा नॉलेज है. बाकी तो ठीक है, मैं गुड़ल को देखने आया था इधर. कल मैच था बट मैंने लाइव करने की कोशिश की ताकि मैं ओजी का भी कुछ ले पाऊँ स्ट्रीम में, बट नहीं हो पाया यार.
Ooh, okay.
Live ही नहीं हुआ बे.
I mean, last game they played Stadium. They were there for quite a while, right? So we can say that there was some circle look in that sense, but there was nothing lucky.
आज ऐसे भगवान की दया से मतलब स्मूथ चल रही है स्ट्रीम तो भाई मजा आ रहा है.
Here they are getting
बाकी मेरा तो हो गया था भाई, मैं तो जा रहा था, मैंने तो हार मान ली थी, ठीक है कि भाई अभी करना ही है भाई मौजूद है, बट हो गया, ठीक है. बाकी तो थैंक यू सो मच भाई ज्वाइनिंग, थैंक यू सो मच फॉर ज्वाइनिंग.
I mean, at least if you needed a warm-up to prove that they're going to be able to play some very aggressive PUBG Mobile today, that was the game for it. And again, like you say, the circle luck will only go so far. It's more what you do with the position you present. It's very clean last time. Again, a little bit of a gift that they'll be happy with, but more to be done. Potentially a bit of an encounter on the later rotate from our squads outside of the zone. Getting eyesight back over
pass कर देता हूँ ताकि leg कम हो, ठीक है?
Things get a little bit panicky. The hustle and crew. Yunbin, even from distance, that's on Shin Red Force getting stuck into the action.
I mean, they've been taken down by Nongshim as well as E-Arena at the same time. I think there was not a huge amount of expectations here for Hustler Crew. Go into groups. So I do think that Hustler Crew going down again for 2 players. Not sitting on a great average at the moment. They've only got 1 point over these 2 matches so far. Sat down there with TT Project. But I think that Nongshim Red Force want to turn that around. This is a team that is very, very good. Have just come off some big success here, Jackie, this year. Would love to go straight towards the finals at the very least.
यार आवाज बावा सो ठीक है ना कि उड़ गई कोई दिक्कत नहीं भाई.
Goodness me. If we took a look at the map right now, you can see just how jam-packed it is. We have one team playing on Everest in Aura. Everyone else, like I said, is in that horrible tunneled zone on the western side. A few compounds around that area. S2G currently playing that one that sits underneath Everest on the southwest side. That's a good spot to be working with. You can clear a lot of space from there too. The fact that we still have about, what would you say, 30% water in this one, with Everest being a big chunk of it, no one really wanting to move into apartments just yet. It's a nasty circle. So
अभी स्मूथ चलेगी, ठीक है ना? फैन इधर पुल कर दिया है ऊपर, तो यस गर्मी हो रही थी ब्रो पूरी, मतलब फोन हीट चुका है, फोन हीट हो गया है, सब पीसी हीट हो गया है, सब कांड पड़ गई है, ठीक है पूरी.
No, it's not, but oh no.
In the world is that? Makes you want to be sick, honestly.
Bro, क्या जोड़ है बे पानी में? मजा आएगा भाई ये मैच में तो.
Take no chances here. You cannot be greedy on a circle like this. You've got to shore up your front at the moment.
मजा आएगा बे ये देखने में, ठीक है? मजा आएगा ब्रो, सच्ची.
Teams are going to be coming at you thick and fast in the near future. Alpha 7 sit all the way over towards the peninsula on that northwest side. Oh, this is disgusting, mate.
Yeah, this is absolutely unbelievable. All of our squads still alive and kicking. Such limited space. Such little ground left to play with on the
like करो जेड यार प्लीज, जो भी लोग देख रहे हो, ठीक है? लव यू है भाई.
Wolves continue to be fought by E-Arena. TT getting stuck in versus Vitality as well. This is the fight that's going on right here, right now. Neos down behind the back of the vehicle. Affected Zerich, they just got to call it quits.
Yeah, TT Project just going to move on this one. You're going to get further in towards the circle here. Difficult push out for Yangon Galacticos, stuck on radio tower right now.
फैन की आवाज आ रही है कि नहीं आ रही है? फैन की आवाज आ रही है?
Playing Scarecrow right now versus all the crows coming up from that south side.
कोई ना, इतना तो चलेगा ब्रो, इतना तो चला लो भाई लोग, प्लीज भाई चला लो ये, ठीक है? मस्त चल रही है स्ट्रीम, प्लीज चला लो ये.
Ada now moving forward, adrenaline shot in at stage 3. I mean, it's got to be done. The boys got 2 of them. You need a lot of adrenaline to make your way through these next circles. It is pain that is ahead for a lot of these teams. How well can they weather it?
ये मेरे को नहीं जीने देंगे.
Jiggle looking forward now. Yangon Galacticos dropping some shots down towards them. AUG in hand. Aura though still doing well, honestly, over towards this eastern side.
You can see the sheepish nature of it. We're going to replay here of the fight. Oh, cinematic on that one. That was the follow-up pick onto Ethis. Neos was already down in the back line. Good defense there to make it very uncomfortable for TT that left as a duo. Emre from Ida with a shot onto Godlike as well.
We'll say though, man, this is a really cool push that we kind of missed from S2G. They were playing down towards the southwest side, remember. This is a hell of a swing they've been able to make over towards the north side of the circle. We're getting our next one coming in through now. How much water is going to be in play? Oh. What is this? What are we doing? We got to stop.
It just keeps going. Less and less land mass left as the squads have to fight and step over each other to have any sort of stable ground within this one. Vitality have had some uncomfortable fights to force into a stable location on the zone. They did shut down a good majority of Tian, but leaving them with just the solo.
Play zone taking out Tiamba there just feels poetic right now because it is the circle that's doing the brunt of the damage right now.
वो अकेला बंदा survive कर रहा है भाई ओपन में.
Of Georgia Pole. And these players have to tread water going forward. This is getting messy, it's getting nasty. Alpha 7 set themselves up beautifully on this game. Necessary making the necessary maneuver, hanging out all the way towards the beachhead.
Nice nade lineup.
ये गया.
Side of the vehicle, bit of chip damage. Hoping he can clutch on to his life at this point. ETSH, after completing their long rotate, do run into Yangon once again.
भाई मेरे को ये हील बैटल जरा भी पसंद नहीं है ब्रो.
Start to the tournament so far. Back-to-back blows taken their way. Vitality trying to win out versus non-Shin Red Force. Yangon left with just Smile, but that might turn into a frown if they can get the angle onto him. Cleaning up with the elims, make it uncomfortable for ETSH at least, but this goes both ways.
Good Molly. Ensures he can try and get the res off upstairs, but he's got to be quick about this. Fajita with a nade, looks to post it up.
But zone एक number बना है bro.
Get the airburst on the balcony, I like that. But Smile dropped off the top side. He's doing good work here. A grin appearing on his mouth. Now look for one more step.
Very nice one.
A 1v4 essentially for Smile. Insane stuff. Now S2G holding up against GS.
Kamikaze with a move. Does he expect the backstab? Running around with a visit, closes the gap. A good reposition from Lost, finds the angle through the window and gets that one on target. Vitality on the move up around the coast as well.
चल लाइक करो वे जो भी लोग देख रहे हो ठीक है. Let's go.
S2G still fighting whilst Horror
And subscribe करो वे. Let's complete 200 subscribers मेरी जान फटाफट.
But it finally comes to an end.
Aura now looking out. I mean, Aura had a decent game last time around. We'll pip to the post on the chicken dinner. With a good setup on this northeast side. We've got to go further though. S2G's in the way. Again, S2G, blinder or rotate from them. Look fantastic. Don't know how they managed to snake their way over towards that spot, but it has absolutely paid dividends.
Phone switch off होता था तो.
He's still alive, by the way. No clue how. He is just healing it out. Sleepy though. AWM, nasty headshot, brings the pain.
ब्रो मेरे 4 को ऐसा जरा से भी टक्कर लगती है ना तो ये अपने आप रिस्टार्ट हो जाता है. पता नहीं क्यों ऐसी दिक्कत क्यों आ रही है. बट ये साइड में से ऐसा कांटेक्ट लूज कर देता है. ऐसे जरा से भी टक्कर लगती है ना फोन को तो. Oh, पूरा ओपन जोन है बे.
Maybe a single knock to give them an edge to work with. Panic stations coming in. Tony K falls. Eagle with the steal. Hello.
That's from distance. I mean, they had to quickly turn around there. He was causing big problems for them. Speaker will find out with Beryl. E-Arena, though, they have to regroup on this. They were trying to play Garden Architect, pull out all the weeds on the south side, but not meant to be here. But now they have an angle on what's been causing them problems, where they've been feeling that ache.
We've got the gamble play from Rita that he set up quite some time ago, going for the wide berth over towards the zone.
This is just disgusting. I mean, no one's having a good time right now. We are going out into open zone. The wall's been pretty much giving themselves a lovely little lifeline here as they get towards the top 8 and necessary.
गोड़े तो नीचे जा रही है भाई.
Off the back of it as well.
टेबल में.
See how far this lone wolf can go.
It's a similar situation, man. This is what Ida wanted to go for, with Rita just swimming. Going for his wrap on his own. Razy looked to try and close the distance, going for a similar sort of play. Had a bit of a vehicle there down towards the coast to at least get some distance on it. Alpha 7, meanwhile, they've been sitting and waiting for a fight to come to them just on the ridge of the zone. Vitality have been farming up the elims as well. A bit of a sleeper team with how they've just third-partied onto a lot of these fights. But E-Arena, finally, their eyes light up and they want to go for the wrap straight in.
This is what E-Arena had to do. It's a miracle, by the way, that they get 3 players over towards this location, because Vitality, they were waiting for that moment, waiting for them to leave the building. Luckily, they rotate over towards the roadside, get a tiny bit of sightline cover. And now they set Alpha 7 up in front of them. This is a great position to guard off against. S2G also similarly tries to make a good rotate, but it's Alpha 7 still taking those shots. E-Arena similarly also sending bullets their way. Aura makes a move in the midst of all the chaos on the northern coast.
S2G down and out as they take shots from all sides, leaving them in a brutal position. Brittle, though, is Alpha 7 with a peek up towards the top. Good shots in. Vitality finally take the fight.
ये लोग भी कंफ्यूज हो गए ब्रो कि अगर कैमरा रखे तो रखे किधर भाई, किसको ऐसा देखे। सभी जगह फाइट चल रही है भाई, सभी जगह पे फाइट चल रही है। ये लोग भी कंफ्यूज है कि कहाँ पे देखे या क्या दिखा है।
Finally goes down. Arena, he's out. They tried to scatter Vitality, forcing them out the way. A 12 elim game here on Erangel is pretty damn good, honestly, from where they were playing.
Alpha 7 and Vitality, 2 organizations that will look to take blow for blow right here and prove how much they can do. Paranoia about necessary deep back on the tip of the map that's still in play. Rita still going for his lengthy rotate to give himself a chance to steal away points from the other remaining squads, and Hora keeping it calm on the coast.
Rita's got the scuba gear on right now, looking to make landfall eventually. Razy, grenade up front. Surprised Carrillo was able to sidestep that one. It is scary though, having Razy and Razak together here. M79 pulled out to try and create a little bit of cover in front of them, but don't know if he's got any more shells left in that bad boy. Revo moves up though, nade in hand, pulls out his a little bit later than Vitality. We've got to keep on that fight though. Axel opens up towards Revo. We want to see what's going on. Carrillo's down, Obscure might be next, leaving them just 1 player now. Guizhou on top side, gets absolutely obliterated, and Vitality full of life in this endgame.
They line them up and knock them down. Vivi Vitality as they're coming alive in France. 15 elims on the game so far. And for Alpha 7, it all falls onto the solo. What can you do? Big nade to open it. Goodbye, Razy. As Alpha 7 are looking to clap straight back and give as good as they get, but Hora see them. Backstab shots from No Fear.
Nice one,
He's got limited time though. The Blues start to move in, rolling towards him. It's an inexorable approach. Terrifying. Razy likely not to get back up, but necessary, still alive here. Like we said, the lone wolf living his dream as he gets up towards the top 4. Horror might have been pipped the post last game, but they're going for the chicken.
What happened?
Oh, it's brutal, but try as he might to hold on. He got the 2 clean knocks with the utility, but it's not enough in the full.
भाई जो मेन है ना यही मेन है, ठीक है। लास्ट जोन में गांड फटती है, ठीक है। पैनिक हो जाते बंदे भाई, अच्छे बंदे पैनिक हो जाते हैं लास्ट जोन में। एंड भाई कंट्री को रिप्रेजेंट करते हैं ना, तभी भाई जिम्मेदारी बहुत बड़ी होती है सर पे। अगर जीतो तो सब लोग अप्रिशिएट करेंगे, एंड अगर हारे, गलती से भी हार गए तो भाई ट्रोलिंग पक्की भाई, ट्रोल करते हैं सब। बहुत बड़ी जिम्मेदारी होती है सर पे भाई।
Hora, they've got Sleepy, the sniper with a hell of a scope, waiting for the opportunity to leave them broke on the peak over the top of the ridge. If Vitality come into this, it's going to be on the back foot, an uphill battle. Down a man, draining their resources, like you say, whilst Hora are just waiting to strike.
All players down now. They need an open
4v3, bro.
Vitality's got no choice but to try and isolate here. Luckily, they've got vehicles. They set up now. They put the pedal to the metal. Now looking to
V80 वाले अच्छे खेल रहे bro.
Swinging out into the open. Ray Z wraps round. Sky also similarly layering on the backside here. Can't quite find the shots here. Sleepy digging those bullets into the backside of the vehicle, creating those dents, but Circle moves away now. How do they approach this? It feels like an impossible game here for Vitality.
Such an open field. No cover, no chance. The only play that they can make is to take the fight straight to their face as they drive back behind the steering wheel and go in swift. Sleepy with a warning shot. The buggy comes by. Close quarters engagement as Vitality look to hold on. No fear down. More damage done. Sky replies onto one. It's all on a solo of Axel as he looks to cook his way through them.
Sleepy up front pulls out the AUG, the AWM doing nothing for him. Axel last left alive here. An incredible play. It's a hard fight though. A 1 versus 2. Molotov goes long. He runs straight into it though. Keeps backing off into the nades. It might be lights out for Axel soon.
गया.
Oh, that's the nade to do it as Hora with a hefty bombardment on the beach. They lay claim to
nice
the
second
chicken dinner and light up Paris once again.
Hora though, it was instantaneous response. The speed at which they came through. Oh my days. Gaines pulled out in the second game. Good for him.
Beautiful action there. Hora locked in, understanding their rotation, the best opportunity to try and force Wolves out of that solo position that was giving them so much control. The third party into the back, controlled everything blank, and left Vitality effectively in an open island. No cover, no chance. Axel gave it his best, but an upward battle.
I mean, Axel, he was spinning like crazy that game. Smoke on the tires because 9 elims almost made it more than that. What a wild performance from him, not only on that game, but last game too, when they were trying to make their way up towards the stadium. It is funny that we had
अच्छा खेले bro.
in that top 3.
मेरे को लगा था भाई V80 जीतेगी, but
here over on Erangel,
Hora जीत गई.
seem to have a couple of favorites here, Jackie.
Yeah, already establishing some of our lobby leaders potentially. And not even one of those statements where we'd say at the end of day 1, at the end of game 1, now going into game 2, like you say, mate, it's just becoming very crystal with a lot of the squads that are looking incredible out here. This is the final moment replay as well. You can see back how rough it was for Axel.
It's so unfortunate because the Molotov went far. I think he could have stayed playing against that vehicle. He makes the right call in the moment because that Molotov's placed correctly. He can't play up front, but it's a very, very hard decision to make at the moment. But again, it did feel like Vitality could have made that work. And I wasn't joking when I said that felt like an impossible game. It really was.
They had no cover. They had no pathway.
Oh, right.
They went for the call and nearly did it. Ridiculous. Let's get down on the stage and find out from themselves.
All right, well, yes, thank you very much. I'm Claris down here on the stage. I am with the arena.
Like करो बे and subscribe मारो यार. Subscribe नहीं कर रहे हो तुम लोग.
Because that might have been the best game in PUBG Mobile history. I want to get your thoughts about that game. What was going on in the team comms, the feeling after that first game.
เราอยากมาพูดเรื่องเกมแรกนะครับตอนนั้นเราเก็บไก่ไปได้เลยนะตั้งแต่เกมแรกเลยเรามองว่ามันเป็นเกมที่แบบว่าดีที่สุดตั้งแต่เราเคยเล่นกันเลยมาเลยนะฮะอยากถามว่าตอนนั้นเรารู้สึกยังไงบ้างฮะแล้วก็ทีมคอมแล้วก็บรรยากาศในทีมฮะมันเป็นยังไงบ้างครับ
จริงๆจังหวะนั้นเราไม่ได้คิดอะไรเลยครับแค่ไล่ตีในเมืองของเราให้หมดแล้วก็ไม่คิดว่าจะไก่คิวเยอะขนาดนั้นครับ
Alright, to be honest, we didn't expect that we're gonna get that much kill, and like, so what we planned during that time is just like keep getting into the city and like hit like one by one into the city at a time.
Okay, so
पहले क्या बोल रहे थे कुछ मालूम नहीं पड़ रहा था भाई बाकी बाद में इंग्लिश बोले तो पता चला कि क्या बोल रहे थे.
Everybody kind of watching for E-Arena out at home as well, because I'm sure a lot of people are very excited about that first performance.
หลังจากที่ทุกคนได้เห็นได้ดูเกมแรกแล้วนะเชื่อว่าหลายๆคนตอนนี้กำลังจับตามองทีมของเราอยู่นะ
जो अभी नहीं पता चल रहा है क्या बोल रहा है.
ก็ฝากเป็นกำลังใจให้ยายน่าเลยครับ1 เดียวจากไทยครับก็จะทำให้เต็มที่ที่สุดครับ
Alright, to everyone, please supporting us. We are the Arena, the only one and the only hope of Thailand.
All right, well, thank you very much. Thinking PMWC history here. E-Arena looking awesome.
चलिए दूसरा मैच स्टार्ट हो तब तक के लिए क्या करें? लाइक मारो जेट.
E-Arena hitting us with the only hope for Thailand. Well, that hope is looking pretty damn good. And you know who else is looking good? Hora. As they were, you too, Max. You too, honestly.
No, I mean, Hora, what an absolute banging day for Nepal, right? You start off with a second place in one of the weirdest opening games ever in an international tournament. And then, how about we do get that win here on a beach finish that we rarely see at any tournament whatsoever. And oh my goodness, I mean, for you in particular, Nitra, you're a big fan of snipers. Sleepy, the bolt action. Oh my God, Nepal is here to play.
Oh, it's so nice to see it. So nice to see it at a global tournament. Finally, it's been years, it feels like. He's still one of the only players that uses a bolty. We need to have that more often, and maybe after this game, other players will go, maybe it's not such a bad idea to have an absolute god at sniping on your team, because oh my. That is exactly what you want to see. You're getting those long-range shots coming on through. Really, really good stuff. But we're in general really able to.
भाई hope so good like अच्छा करे ठीक है. अपने इंडिया की जीत हो भाई. Good like और orangutan भाई. Best of luck. करो ब्रो करो भाई. पोजी तो अच्छा खेल ही रही है. Good like bro. कुछ करो यार. नीचे जाते जा रहे हो आप लोग.
Amazing.
The best sound.
Every shot is like pure ASMR.
Yeah.
Boom. Baby.
All right, Max, you next.
Hello.
Okay, on me.
On him. Put it on him.
On me.
Get the camera on this, man. Boom.
डबल आवाज आ रही है क्या? हेलो हेलो. ये माइक और ये माइक.
Get ready.
Hello.
On sound. AWM. Come on. What? Did you sneeze? That was a sneeze. What? Okay, for everybody that has been making videos of PMWC at EWC 26, there you go. There's the challenge. Go back to that last game, have Sleepy, and replace those sounds and see which one was the best. Make sure you guys share it on social media using the hashtag EWC and hashtag EWC26. But talking about teams that were able to perform so good, we have to talk about Vitality, Lace.
Man, the whole entire game from them was absolutely incredible. They basically had bridge. They were able to hold that position so early. They were the Zone 3 gatekeepers of that entire match. They had direct lines of sight on everybody that was rotating in such a difficult choke point where they had to rotate. They actually left Reezy behind to scout E-Arena's movements. They basically waited. They flanked on in there, right behind them while they were in contention. And I mean, they reserved so much utility to be able to take on E-Arena and get them out of their way. And then obviously they set their sights on Alpha 7. Alpha 7 had nowhere else to go but to exit building, so they'll be able to do that. And especially this play, I mean, such a large distance to be able to go. They luckily had the vehicles, and I mean, fell a little bit short here, just having, you know, Axel could have sit back a little bit too far, but what an incredible game from them. Not the first place that they're probably hoping for, but goddamn, that's some eliminations they put on the board.
Oh, goddamn indeed. No, but looking at Vitality, I feel like the moment that allowed them to get into a second place in the first place is actually when they decide to push up onto E-Arena, leapfrog Alpha 7 in one.
भाई इतनी नींद क्यों आ रही है मेरे को? वैसे हम तो राजकोट से भाई, हम 2 से 4 सो जाते हैं, ठीक है? कुछ भी हो भाई, 2 से 4 हमको सोना है. हमको बस सोने दो, ठीक है?
Looking really good. I mean, Vitality 23 points. Now this is what I was was talking about Group B. We were expecting
Yes,
teams to
हमको
be a
zoom
lot
है, ठीक
more
है।
aggressive. We're expecting teams
नहीं
to
भाई,
start
ये
sponching
नहीं
up
मजा
those
आ रहा
points
भाई।
towards the top. And so far, after 2 matches, that's exactly what's currently happening. With Alpha 7, we see them now being able to have back-to-back good performances. This is what we want to see out of PMGC champion.
It is absolutely. It's really nice to see them make a little bit of a comeback bit by bit here. I'm going to be expecting them to continue that, much like Orangutan in Group A, right? In day 1, they're just going to be continuing to grow and grow and grow that momentum, hopefully for day 2. So we will see how that goes. But for now, you know, 9 points on game 2 is a really, really decent start for them. So yeah, I am happy with them so far.
Yeah, and I mean, they have such a powerful roster as well, and Revo was definitely kicking it for them. This type of squad can focus on eliminations. We saw that coming out of match 1. They actually like held out Wolves in several scenarios. Then in this second match, they focused on placement and prioritized that. They were
Nice,
actually
yeah, बढ़िया लग रही है भाई,
contested for a
bonus
long
है।
time, obviously sitting and building and waiting.
लग रही है ना
for the
बढ़िया।
vitality to come along. But it shows the strength in different sides that this squad can play, and especially when you come into Smash Rule, you know, you want to be able to prioritize eliminations,
बड़ा हुआ
but
बाल
get
या
these
कटवा
placements
दूं?
as well.
Oh, look at that. Oh, perfect timing. Like we were talking about them too. A7, the greatest PUBG Mobile team in history. I think the Alpha 7 fans will end up agreeing with that one because so far, I mean, they have been one of the most consistent teams when we talk about PUBG Mobile Esports history. Nongshim Red Force, though, they've not been having one of the best starts so far.
I'm very surprised by Nongshim. I thought
Surprising what kind of way? Tell us more, please.
Okay, I will. All right. Where are they? They are silent. They're not doing anything. I thought,
He's on Furia silence. What are you talking? Sorry, that was terrible. I'm sorry.
But PMMI, massive champions by Smash Rule, all of that sort of
Like
thing.
करो chat
coming
भाई,
into
जो भी लोग
here
देख रहे
looking
हो। Let's complete 5 like bro. At
And
least
then
5
we
like
have, what,
complete
2
कर दो
0
यार,
pointers or a 2
please।
point and a 0 pointer. I'm confused and surprised, and hopefully that will change as we go on into the next couple of games. But yeah, bit odd, I think.
I'm sad. I don't have any analysis. There's nothing really to break down except that the early rotations, they can't quite get in there. I didn't see the start of this game because we were running from the rooftop over to here, so I'll have to go back and check it out and break down what really happened to them from Red Force. But it was good, but unfortunately it's a very exclusive club, you know, on the rooftop. Only us and E-Arena can go on rooftops. That's all we can do.
Tomorrow, Lays, you'll join us at the beginning of the show.
Fine, I don't want the
I'll make sure it happens, all right? I'll make sure you get that wind flowing and just while you're talking. But no surprise seeing E-Arena currently in first place with 46 points with the amazing performance that this squad had in the first rondo. No surprise. Team Vitality there with that second. Remember, if you for some reason missed the first 2 days of PMWC at EWC 26, the top 5 teams at the end of tomorrow will be going directly to the finals. The bottom 3 will end up going home, and everybody in between will go to survival. And yeah, I mean, TT Project, Hustler Crew as well. One team that wasn't able to perform that well here in this, Aaron Gill, was Godlike. Godlike started off hot.
Godlike was Godlike.
The first game that they get a chance to experience at a global event is none other than a stadium finish. But here, we're going to have to see a bit of a bounce back.
I mean, to be fair, I'm going to be so fair to them. You
करेंगे
said, yes, their
कुछ।
first rondo in a global is going to be a stadium finish. The first Erangel on a global finish is north of Zarki on a beach, or not Zarki, but the South George. Thank you. Yeah. South George. On a beach? Excuse me? No, thank you. So you know what? I'm going to cut him a little bit of slack and go, when we have a normal zone, then I'll start talking about them.
Now we're going to get a weird circle again. Thank you. You did that.
I'm not cutting slack.
I'm so sorry.
I'm not going to be cutting any slack. I want this team to start performing and performing now, because we saw what ended up happening yesterday. And with Godlike, the thing with Godlike is we know that they can definitely put up the numbers. We know they have the fragging power, and with the audience that they have behind them, and with what we saw RG coming out of them, I know they might be able to bounce back, and we'll see how they're going to be able to bounce back towards today. But while we're at it, before we start match 3, let's send it over to Kalaris and John Allen.
That's right. Well, you know what? Here on the stage, we could.
Bro, yeah,
talk
Toby
about
to एक
game
number.
2. We could.
Yeah, well, game 2, sure, lovely. But what about game 1, though? That was some interesting stuff coming through.
Trophy देखने पड़े बे.
They swept the floor with everybody.
Yeah, it was impressive, really impressive. So much minutia in it as well, right? They even, not only did they not get challenged in Stadium to start things off, but sent to North to actually shore up their bets against the circle if it had come down, and then moved back. So it was anything but passive. And the crazy thing about all the eliminations, none of them were recall elims. So it makes it even more insane that that rondo could ever happen like that.
Yeah, 29 elim game is unheard of at this level. It is incredible stuff to be able to witness. And like you said, none of them are recalls, so it wasn't like they were getting stuck in Neox or in one of those other hot drop locations. They were absolutely keen to get straight into the action. As soon as those recall towers closed off, they were like, no, we're just going to play bread and butter.
And you can see the double drop here as well to kind of look at how they're able to seal the deal. Not only that, able to defend the zipline locations to make sure nobody else was coming up on the roofs. So it was picture perfect. And you know the crazy thing? Before I had that interview with Joker, he said it was lucky. And I'm like, I don't think it was lucky at all. That's ridiculous. Anyway, thank you very much for this, John. It is time now to head on over to the
start करना बे. थक गया हूँ मैं.
The perfect hit from John to get us back over to the commentary booth as we set the stage for another game here live.
जोनाथन भाई अगर गुड लेग में होते ना ब्रो, तो अभी ये फाइनल्स खेल रहे होते. बट क्या करे?
All right, what about a team that might need a bit more energy? Let's hear it for Godlike. Hey! There we go. That's what I wanted to hear, Paris. Give us some of that. Let's get loud as we get into our third game of the day.
They need that energy. They need
Let's
it
go.
now.
Let's go भाई यार. मैच
not doing too badly
आ गए
so
चलो.
far. E-Arena took to the stage
Match
on
में.
our first game of Vitality. Aura not far behind. Alpha 7 been ticking along too. 16 points. S2G big surprises right now. 15 points so far. Looking fairly good. 13 eliminations. Because this what this shows me is that the gun skill is there for this squad. They've only been getting 2 points off the back of placements right now. But S2G bringing some of that action to the arena at the moment. Lovely to see. Another awkward playing path down from Sosnovka. Very east leaning here. See where these players want to drop in. Vitality out early down towards Sosnovka. A little bit of a journey for themselves to get up towards that north side. They should be fine. Wait for the circle to come on through. Right now,
sorry.
top players, and for a good reason. This guy has been popping off between games.
And with what we've already had today, Blank, it feels like there's been something different in the air for these circles, for these games. Are we getting another ridiculous affair again? Do you reckon this will be normality?
Well, Neptune already jinxed it, didn't she? So we'll see. Again, the circle might be kind to us coming through to game 3. These players sort of need a break at this point. It's been wild so far. Some teams been able to roll with the punches, others not so. We're heading down towards the south side. This is your fault, Neptune. You got to take ownership of this one. See who comes through with it. Vitality, they'll get themselves a nice start on this one. Down towards the south side. No eking their way up past the coast on the western side. They get to start in a good position. This could head back over towards the northwest side. But Godlike already taking 2 knocks here. S-Power has to down.
Let's see if they can withstand the full frontal assault that's coming their way. S-Power opens it back up onto Loco. Oh, close quarters engagement with the shotgun. Good pre-fire on the angle. Vinny gets it done. It's not the start they wanted.
Hey, bye.
Crew has been dropping on teams all day today. Do not care one bit. They lose Loco in the process, but
Mania hai.
got their job done there. I think Godlike might need to start.
अरे यार मैच स्टार्ट होते ही फक हो गया वो बेंच चोद.
Trash drop, right? They're going for split loot around apartments. I think personally,
चलो मानिया भाई, let's go.
Dropping together because where they're dropping isn't bad. It's bad because it's bad now because people keep dropping on top of them all the time. It's so tough to work with. So Godlike might need to make a change in that category. Also, I mean, Hustler crew has just been all over the place. It's hard to predict for Godlike.
अभी 8 पॉइंट ही है भाई गुड लेग के पास तो सिर्फ.
Keeping them guessing. And that change of drop, that change of pace has certainly been hurting some of our teams. Brutal to position to be left in immediately, Blank. Less than 4 minutes into the game, you're down to a solo. Hustler crew getting away. Yeah, sure, you take some damage. but a trio could still look to weave their way through. Squeeze a few more points out of this one, the longer it develops.
The skin there as well, you can join Uzumaki himself with the new Ninetales Fury Org skin. Looks fantastic. 2 versions of it too. Love to see it. Get angry. Feel that rage from the Ninetales in-game. Because it looks awesome as well. It's fantastic. It's a fantastic skin. We'll see what Mania can get done here. For God, like, it's just been an unfortunate start for them. I mean, starting off with Horror dropping on them into Hustler Crew, I do feel bad for them. I really do. We'll see if they can pick things back up going in towards our 4th Erangel of the day and then to our Miramars. We've seen that anything can happen. They can still work their way back up those rankings. Down towards that south side, that S2G do move on through. A quick replay. I mean, S-Power did hold it down. He's only got Micro Uzi to work with. It's hard. It's hard in those situations. A vest as well, level 1 helmet. The fact that he held on as long as he did was pretty insane, to be honest, as well.
Yeah.
Ooh, Axel again.
Like karo be.
Still putting on those numbers. Goodness me, he is fearsome. Again, coming into this for Vitality, there was a lot of talk around Razy and Razak, and I've seen these guys perform before. They look great, but the fact that Axel is just like, guys, we got to get through here. We got to get into the top 5. We're making it through to finals. We're going to do Indonesia proud.
And they're certainly living up to the hype right now with some of the plays that are being made. We've seen these awkward encounters happening down towards Novka as well with the shots over. Everyone taking a few casualties here, and there, Wolves only getting away with a duo off the back of things, and S2G falling very early here.
आप लोग एंजॉय करो, मैं आया, ठीक है?
A little bit too close to Vitality's
मैं आता हूँ अभी.
home ground down towards his south side. They want to clear out more space. You got Razak as well as Federales holding over towards the bridge, whilst Razy as well as Axel currently holding down C block. They have a lot of area to work with. They are feeling unbelievably confident. Hustler Crew still causing problems for people around the map.
Oh, swing out. Close quarters connections onto the Hustler Crew. That's your single knock to play with. Looking for more as they do take the fight back over to Vinny. Nade in the hand for the close quarters shutdown. It's good damage, but can't find a follow through with a shotgun. Not able to withstand it as they are down and out. Revenge there for their hot drop.
Yes, getting away with that one in school. Now they do certainly teach Hustler Crew a lesson. But we'll need to get on the bus right now to get down towards the south side of the map. Curious to see where this next circle goes, because this could be another nasty one where we end up on the bridge. Wouldn't surprise me after the circles we've seen today. Alpha 7 still keeping it pretty chilled out over towards Milta. Moved away from North George over towards this location of the map, considering the plane path itself. E-Arena, though, they took way longer. I mean, they wrapped back up towards South George. Going to loot in this area, get as much as possible. I think they understand it's going to be a late rotate in, either on the bridge or send Primorsk and grab some boats.
There's our Alpha 7 cameo as well. All together, getting their move on with a hovercraft, crossing from the mainland back over. Tianba had that similar rotation, of course, as they do glide their way around. A few more style points on that one, Blank.
Oh, definitely. Line for the air does feel good. I mean, for Alpha 7, though, this is going to be feeling weird for them. I think a lot of times when they make this approach, they're always expecting teams to be holding a Novo. Yangon Galacticos, on the other hand, though, they've headed over towards Observatory. They've got a split there. They're trying to hold out all teams. Cloud down towards the south side, though, is peeking over towards Alpha 7, but the hovercraft means they can immediately get out of the water and get on the move. You can just see him there, off in the west-hand side.
This was the S2G fight, where they were taken out by TT Project, the duo that tried to get away after their encounter versus Vitality. TT once again right here, right now, taking pot shots onto Dopeness bit by bit.
I mean, for TT Project, they know they've got to get some aggression under the belt right now. They are low down in the rankings, and they can't afford to let this game keep going the way it is. Evius finishing out Kenji, and I think that might just be Dopeness out now. We've already lost 3 teams. Hustler Crew, Dopeness, S2G, down to 13, 47 players this stage of the game. It's quite carnage, quite a lot of carnage happening on the map at the moment.
Oh, okay.
A little bit more standard.
Yeah, this is probably better for us and for the teams, Blank.
Centering up, we do have those buildings that sit down towards the ridge side on the eastern edge that currently Vitality just have free reign over. Razak might try and regroup. I think it might be a bit dangerous now, holding over towards C block as long as he does. So this is sensible, this is mature coming through from Vitality. They know that a lot of teams would like to take up position towards here. They don't want to leave it up to chance. 2 players getting run down. And even as I say that, Wolves start to make their way up, but they're caught up in between. TT Project.
For what it's worth, they're keeping the heat on TT with how Wolves have played this one. A good squad individually. Zerich cleaning out towards the ground floor, makes it look simple as he busts around the door, waving the 4-4. Zerich with a nade.
Nice.
Ooh, beautiful bounce on it.
Might be able to pick up effect here, but Vitality's having none of it. They hear the shots, they hear the fighting, they take down effect and then clear out another building. This is just space gained, space garnered right now for Vitality.
You might think Vitality are going to clean up on this one, mate. Watch this from Zerich. I can feel the energy rising. Looks to get the nade into the back line. Decent chip damage as they're bombarding. 4, 5 nades. One after another, keeping them pinned in position. Razy with a wrap round the back, looking for the angle in. Federales advances with Axel. It's a good knock. Zerich down.
Just an unbelievable amount of pressure being applied right now by Vitality. Axel behind him, Neos drops out, but Vitality looks clean. Not a single player lost on the knock here. And a reset actually, because of Vitality, they've been watching out for a lot of players where they're coming from. Getting a full amount of utility, a full amount of supplies from that squad, that's really good at resupplying them going forward too. And again, more space game for them. They don't want anyone coming close to those buildings on the eastern side of that ridge. This is their area to play.
Tiamba caught vision as well of Alpha 7 here.
Wide
Wide play space to work with. Decent amount of cover in between the trees. Just trying to wait for an overextension. Can't really hard commit and hold the angle right now if you leave yourself exposed to the crosshairs, and Alpha 7 don't want to waste too much time amongst this until they feel they've got an edge.
Revel. Gonna wrap down, try and deny some of the sidelines, get over towards the airstrip. Maybe a bit further here. Circle could shift very far over towards the western side on this next circle, potentially. Instead it goes central, over towards Millie Base itself.
Battery तो अभी नहीं है bro, battery.
Mania set up on the southern side of C block here. Trying to keep it as quiet as possible here for Godlike, trying and get towards those later placements. Nongshim.
Charge में मुकना पड़ेगा phone bro.
A strong team, but we have not seen a massive amount of that. And again, we've had these.
फिर से गिर जाएगा अभी देखना. मेरे को ये डर है bro, ये अगर switch off हो गया ना phone मेरा, तो stream भी नहीं आएगी YouTube पे, and bro कुछ भी नहीं होगा.
But like you say, maybe not just been the right place at the right time with the abstract nature of the first 2 games we've had today as we've kicked off the action. Group B, bringing the heat here. A lot of very explosive teams. Not in the worst position with the hilltop control and cover to work with. They'll have the lay of the land over the Vitality split if they advance towards them. There was a later rotate as well from Hora that's still been developing in the back. That's why we haven't seen them for some time.
Irina, in the meantime, did make the cross, by the way. Over towards the western side. They are rocking up over towards that ridge. There's a 2-2 here from Vitality. Irina rocking up on it right now. It's a little bit scary here, but immediately Vitality's backing off the angle. Information now, that's the big thing. Will Irina catch any of them in the process? Mania now up against Yangon Galacticos as a solo.
Could have had the drop on him. Manu was hoping to at least get that one clothesline play. Introduce him to the shotgun, but he's exposed to Smile through the window. And Yangon do shut down the final member of Godlike as another squad exits stage left.
The Arena playing this one slow at the moment. Again, I love the way these two teams are playing this one out. Arena was cautious on the approach. Vitality didn't want to hold this position any longer. Quick regroup down towards the eastern side. Like, honestly, Vitality is playing like a finals team right now. This is really, really cool to see. Layering up towards E-Arena. They've got the hovercraft in play. I think for Razak's got to be careful here, though. Yes, he can keep gathering information. Make sure he knows exactly when E-Arena moves, where they move to, so they can plan out the rest of the game ahead of this. It is slightly dangerous versus Turney K, who's playing on the top of the building.
You talk about slightly dangerous. This could be somewhat lethal. ETS
लाइक करो चैट जो भी लोग देख रहे हो ठीक है
way through the Ida blockade that is set up, watching the bridge. Crystal clear line of sight. Looking to fire some shots on.
Subscribe मारोगे.
Shifting in favor of Vitality's current position as well, with E-Arena in close proximity, and that battle does break out. Knockback over onto Emre, it seems like, though, for Ida. It's not gone anywhere near as cleanly as they were hoping for.
It's pretty messy both sides. I mean, Ida has the opportunity to get all the players back up again. They're outside in the play zone. So one player goes down there. Emre potentially getting him back up again, leaving them as 3. But Aura, they sense blood in the water. They move up. Darkin with a P90. Looks to take some shots over towards him. But again, Horror. This is horrifying, honestly, for Ida. They're just poking their head slowly over the top, making it uncomfortable right now for them.
You think with that very delayed rotate, they went all the way around the east side over the other bridge. Haven't had too many opportunities to get elims on this game. 32 points coming into it,
नहीं बार game over नहीं है bro, अभी time है.
They're going to want a chance to fight, add a little bit more to that. But that wasn't the hard commit onto Ida. Like you say, get a bit of a read off and try and stay safe. Rest of our teams now focusing on forging a path ahead back into the zone.
Well, the thing is that for Aura, they have to be very careful here. They know there's a ridge line that sits down over towards Nongshan Red Force. They can play that, but they also understood they didn't want to get too involved with Ida, considering that the main rotational path here for most teams is over the northern side, over the rolling hills, and then swinging by E-Arena and then trying to play off that ridge there. So for Horror, I think they just take their chances. They move down towards the high ground. They're going to isolate a lot this northeast side of the map whilst keeping their back cleared from Nongshan Red Force as well as Vitality.
Alpha 7 in a pretty good position as well to possibly rearm themselves with some higher tier loot off the back of the drop. One of the times we've seen them not really taking early casualties as well, so we get the full force of Alpha 7 where they play their best PUBG Mobile. E-Arena seeing the wrap round from Ida. And that seems to have caught their attention, perked their eyes up a little bit, but they're going straight down towards Tiamba territory.
I mean, right now for Ida, they were just shepherded by E-Arena in the hovercraft, and Ida does make their way up towards the building, but this is an uncomfortable position to be playing. Alpha 7 off the distance also trying to get involved there. In the midst of the chaos, Darko in the P90 goes extremely low, but for Tiamba, they don't want to really leave these buildings too much. Everyone understanding that there are so many positions to play here. There are so many sightlines at play as well, that it's difficult to be making those rotations. I mean, Ida just felt the full force of 5 different teams all taking shots towards them.
Terrified of E-Arena, forced into Tiamba, and then skewered by the backstab of Vitality. Alpha 7 even assessing the situation to see when they want to make a move. Zone still crunching in. Last few squads making their rotate in.
Yeah. I mean, this is playable though, right? That's the problem for Alpha 7 right now. This is very playable in terms of the ridge line. They've got ahead of them that slight slope that looks upwards. Until they're forced to move, I don't think they're pulling off this position anytime soon. Aura opens up over towards Smile. Behind the missiles. Want to see if they can find Romeo underneath. Sleepy looking to do his best. Anti-aircraft. over towards these guys, clip their wings at distance, but this time he's got the DBS in hand, no Balti in play.
Nade after nade to keep the pressure on downhill. A bit of extra distance on that one. Nonshin Red Force still sitting pretty inside of the defensive area they've set up for themselves, whilst Alpha 7 go from playing passive to pouncing on a team. 72 1GS taking casualties. Tianba also find an opportunity to get involved. And Alpha 7 collapse onto it now, Blank. Clean up through action.
That's really good. They spotted an opportunity, opened up over towards GS, and they'll find a fair few elimination off the back of it. Yangon Galacticos also do move down this way, tails between their legs after that initial engagement with Aura earlier on. Not the spot they want to be in, and suddenly they find themselves with neighbors here in Alpha 7. Two champions up against one another now.
But the issue is, Blank, heavy are the heads that wear the crown. And it's Yangon Galacticus that need to stand their ground and defend.
Bro, ये vitality पे मैं तो fan हो गया bro vitality का. अच्छा खेल रहे हैं भाई ये लोग.
Real big opportunity there for Revo. 6 nades though, and a rough idea of where they're playing. That might just be enough.
A7 भी अच्छा खेल रही है.
Good arc on the first two. Initial chip down.
Last में भी अच्छा किया था दोनों ने.
No overcommitment. Seeing more of that dynamic tempo. They were talking about some of the early interviews this event, saying they know when to be aggressive now, but they know when to rein it in and try and reset.
Yeah. Again, I think that was.
like करो यार stream यार please.
Their heads that there was not a single team that could fight them clearly. That potentially that's their downfall. But again, this team has incredible gun power, but they just need to realize when to apply it and when to accelerate, when to pull it back. I think they've looked a lot better today. Honestly, it's looked a lot cleaner. It's a lot more like the Alpha 7 of the past, consistently getting towards those late games. But they're realizing there's some big dogs in this lobby.
More respect, but it goes both ways. They do assess the situation as well, getting a bit of info up top side towards the arena with the split they've gone for. Can't force the issue too heartedly. If they leave themselves exposed, it could be punishing, but that might be an opportunity presented off the shot up from Hora. Filthy angle on that, Blank.
That's a long distance shot as well. Certainly put Tony K down. Helmet's got to be suffering off the back of that. Rough for Tony K as well, as he's usually the front man for the squad here. Joker's wrapping back. So they get done. Alpha 7 also has taken a knock in the process. These are bad times to be taking knocks. Circle goes central. Nongshim Red Force. Real chance right now for South Korea. Aura down towards the southeast. Tiamba's got to move out from the buildings. It's very clear where they've been playing for such a long time. Potentially move up towards the loot crate. I don't know how far in this is, but you could play off the back of it if you've still got vehicles to work with.
Like you touch on there, could this be a game where Nonshin Red Force finally come alive? They've had a pretty safe pathway throughout the zones we've seen so far here on Game 3. We know they're talented. We've been amping them up. We just need to see it, but let's see if Alpha 7 can bring the thunder on the close quarters engagement. Goodbye, Milu, as Tiamba get hit by the front of the vehicle. Quick flicks coming out from A7. A single knockback onto him, and they're starting to take a bit of damage. Nonshin Red Force taking pot shots down. And although they've cleaned out the ditch, they've got a lot more to worry about.
This is just the difference between EWC and when we come to any other tournaments around the world.
First गए इधर rush मार के.
PMGC very similar in approach as well, where you cannot make any play without another team dipping their heads in, right? It's really, really difficult. Every squad knows when to pick up the heat, honestly. E-Arena also suffering massively on their entry. They just could not find a good time to make their way in.
Yangon still living on with a 4-man squad. Hillside position in play currently for them that they will have to abandon.
अरे मेरे को लगा ढोल बजा रही है, but ये तो दूसरा कुछ बजा रहा है bro.
The duo Avida was rattled down to only darken off the back of this central angle that was taken from Alpha 7. arcing nades in towards the Tianba compound.
Tianba, despite suffering so much earlier on versus Alpha 7, still alive here, but playing a building that everyone knows is occupied. Darken and Tianba live in the same nightmare. Right now, Alpha 7 need to make a move. Watchtower is open. Potential at moving over towards that. Vitality takes some heavy hits. Nongshin Red Force continuing to put on the pressure on this map. Again, Yangon Galacticos suffering to the same thing that E-Arena did. They were looking for any kind of entry point, but every single way in just feels like a tight, narrow alley. They've got to squeeze themselves through.
Alpha 7 biding their time, know that they can strike now with a peek out. Ravo single-handedly has been the explosive force on Alpha 7. 5 elims tied to just this one beastly player. He's on his last legs for now. They need to play medic to get him back up, but Nonshin Red Force have had sightlines to make them feel uncomfortable.
I mean, honestly, for Alpha 7, they've had the roughest game. This is a really, really hard approach for them. I think they've played phenomenally this match so far. It's never been easy, but they are running out of supplies, right? They're running out of meds overall. I think the gas is low in the tank. Let's see how much more Alpha 7 can get done in this game. I think this is where they really will need to take the task to the next level. I think it's going to be hard. The game's going to come down to Nongshin Red Force and Vitality, unless Aura has something to say about it.
Nonshin Red Force just uncontested by any other squads. They've just got 3 angles to hold onto A7. And like you say, it's made it so brutal to move up. Meanwhile, we get the POV of Axel that's taking shots down onto him, but running low on supplies again. The ammunition economy could be a problem. They turn their attention straight onto Horror, though, Blank, and want to see if they can charge.
The nades just aren't pitched right, though. I think that's the last bombardment coming through from Alpha 7 too. There's a couple more nades still left. M79's in play as well. You need those smokes to make your way across. But I think it might be lights out soon. Great shot from Axel once again. This man's name's been in my mouth far too often today. It's crazy.
Just as Nonshin turn their attention over onto Yangon and Alpha 7 were given a chance to take, they go in. The Horror are still holding. And Alpha 7 cut short on the crossing. They can't arrive, and Horror hold on.
The jiggle there comes on through. Looks really, really good in that moment. I mean, Horror didn't give them a chance to move on that one. Joker still up. E-Arena managed to make themselves into a top 5 despite everything. Yangon Galacticos massively suffering to the sightlines of pretty much just Axel, who has their number. But Yangon, I feel like their time is up now.
And that could be a statement that you could attribute to every other squad in the lobby with how Vitality are starting to play. A beautiful day from them so far. 10 elims in the space of this single battleground up to this point. A full 4 squad. The only other that's comparable is Nonshin Red Force. No, Joker!
Oh, almost got the second, dude. I actually felt it in that moment. But he might have single-handedly just ruined the chances of Aura. It goes down to this. Nonshin Red Force versus Vitality.
Like करो भाई chat जो भी लोग देख रहे हो ठीक है.
Does get the res though, which denies the point.
Subscribe मारो भाई.
Through with it.
An economic play. Thinking about the future of what's yet
मेरा तो गेम में ध्यान ही नहीं है बे, मैं तो कहीं और ही काम कर रहा था.
Live in Paris, we're talking about the present that is this game, a gift we've been given with Vitality playing flawlessly.
मैं board like के लिए आया था इधर.
Bringing the strategy down to our final 2 squads.
Side by side now. Vehicles still in play here.
Chat IRL stream वगैरह start करेंगे क्या बोलते हो आप लोग? अगर आप बोलो तो मैं कर देता ठीक है. IRL streams है, vlogs है.
These cars still up and available is a really big deal for them, which is maybe why actually earlier on Razak was making such a big deal of scaring off E-Arena's angles so they couldn't take shots down towards the tires because they knew they need those wheels later on. Little plays like this can make the difference. Moving up towards that loot crate could be the big thing though. Vitality looking to make the first move. You can hear the engines revving. Observers Love you guys.
Crashing it right now. Giving us the cinematics of the story on this one. And I think you're spot on with how they played it, mate. That's the devil in the details that's really raised our opinion of Vitality just in the space of the previous two games, with the fact that strategically it's been on the money time and time again.
भाई मैं तो फैन हो गया, ठीक है, वाइटलिटी का। बढ़िया खेल रही है भाई टीम।
Right now this is more about information gain than everything. Not having any sight denied by the windows inside. And it comes down to this, zone 9. Circle starts to close. Both teams will have to make a move. M79's dropping out the smokes. Clearing out space between the center of the buildings. In come the vehicles. Razak goes first. Gets it up towards the next. Had to make the crossing without taking too much damage here. Again, everything is folding into this.
Cerebral plays. The smoke wall providing the cover that they need to take space off of this. Second by second, edging further closer into a better angle to play off of. They want to cross. Smoke wall goes up. That's
4v4 bro.
From the top of the roof though. If this is on point from Nongshin, it could be absolutely brutal. Goes into the back line. Just splash damage.
Nice.
What an insane nade. Axel's moving up though. He's getting towards the back lines of them. He's already in. Razy's going to take a little bit of damage from that. Razak very much hurting now in the back lines. Razy's going to send a Molotov over the top side. Axel hurting.
He gets it done with a shot. 1-for-1 trades on the Elim so far. There's the spam in from the Blizzard as we see another player fall. Nonshin, Red Force seeing red as they're bringing the heat straight to Vitality. Only a single player remains. He might have the heavy artillery, but he can't do it. Nonshin, Red Force with a strategic, comfortable game. Take game 3 and get that chicken dinner.
Just hold strong inside the building, they say. Au revoir to Vitality.
But last तक आई हाँ Vitality भाई.
But honestly, for Nongshim Red Force, I half expected that just to be the ending of them. But it was stalwart in their defense. Losing Razak on the approach was the big deal. I half expected them just to all follow Axel's approach and just move to the side. But Nongshim Red Force, they've been storing those nades up until that moment.
That's the crazy thing, right? They were just given so much space to sit comfortably. And they get it done, they get a chicken dinner.
But you can see, Blank, it's not just what they've done for themselves, it's the reverberations they're sending throughout the other teams in this lobby, in this group. Alpha 7, trapped in such a horrific position. A squad that looked like they were really starting to build up energy in that lobby, in that game. Held back by Nonshin Red Force, could not get out of their angle. Forced to fight horror, and it all falls.
चलो चैट मैं जा रहा हूँ, ठीक है, मिलते हैं रात की स्ट्रीम पे एंड रैंक पुश अपन करेंगे। तब तक के लिए बाय बाय, टेक केयर, ध्यान रखो एंड थैंक यू फॉर ज्वाइनिंग टुडे, बाय, लव यू है सबको, ठीक है। एंड हॉरिजॉन्टल स्ट्रीम पे भाई मेरे एक टाइम पे ऐसे 10 व्यूज़ आ रहे थे, 20 व्यूज़ आ रहे थे, मतलब टोटल मतलब 73 या 74 व्यूज़ आ चुके हैं। तो थैंक यू सो मच भाई, ये मेरे लिए बहुत बड़ी बात है, मतलब टॉप नॉच भाई। तो लव यू है भाई सबको, ठीक है, जो लोग देख रहे हो, जो लोग सपोर्ट कर रहे हो भाई, लव यू है, ठीक है, दिल से। बाकी तो ठीक है, चलो चैट, मिलते हैं कल या फिर रात की स्ट्रीम पे। Yo bro, hello brother, hello, welcome to the stream. Pmwc19 क्या बोलते उसको मेरे को नहीं मालूम ब्रो, बट थैंक यू फॉर द ज्वाइनिंग एंड सपोर्टिंग, ठीक है, लव यू सो मच भाई, जो भी लोग ज्वाइन हो रहे हो, ठीक है। तो चलो मिलते हैं रात को, तब तक के लिए बाय बाय, टेक केयर, ध्यान रखो एंड थैंक यू फॉर ज्वाइनिंग, ठीक है, बाय बाय।